It's day 30. Oh my god, it's gone so quick. 30 days. Yeah, day 30. Today's journal post is got to be titled questions. Oh my god. I have literally, like, my brain, it feels like every possible question that I could have ever thought of has decided to jump into my brain today. I seemed to be okay when I was working. Was able to kind of like keep myself quite focused. I had a few things pop into my head as going through the day, but I made sure I jotted them down, so kind of added them to my list of things I need to do. So yeah, but questions, oh my god, questions. Some really weird questions, like that I will never find the answer to some ridiculous questions, and I don't know why they've chosen today to jump into my head. The first one that came into my head, and it actually, I'd finished work. I'd run to the gym on my break because they were closed at 2 and I finished at 2:15. So I ran to the gym at my break. When I came back, it was, yeah, this question, for some reason, I don't know why, it just jumped into my head when I was at the gym. And I think that was kind of the catalyst for it. Like, I'd had a few questions during the day that I'd not really thought too much of, but from finishing work from 2:15, it got to the point where it got to about, what time was it? Because my neighbour messaged and was like, do you want to come and sit outside? And I was like, I'm on my walk. So yeah, it got to, what would that have been? Yeah, it would have been about 4:45. And it was so overwhelming that I just couldn't cope with like all these questions. So I just literally went for a walk. And the one question that kind of like burnt it off is, why can my heart not accept what my head has already accepted? Why can my heart not disconnect from this thing, this past relationship? Like, okay, this is a journal. Just be fucking honest, Stacey, right? In my head, I know my relationship is over. It's been 4 months. We've not spoke. Like, I know that it's over. Like, there is absolutely no doubt in my very intelligent brain that it's over. But I just cannot sever that feeling in my heart. And I don't know why. I'm like, why is my heart refusing to let go of something that my brain, and it's not even like there's some possible question or some possible doubt in my mind that I could even link it to. Like, no, my brain knows 100% categorically without fail that my last relationship is over, but my heart just cannot let go. And I don't know why, and I don't know what else to do to kind of like sever that connection. I'm guessing this is what healing is. I guess this is going to come through just feeling the emotions and writing them out and listening to them and journaling and doing what I'm doing. But this is the first time I've ever had such a strong, like, normally I've kind of been able to go, oh well, there's still a little bit of something in, like, you know, if there's been another situation, my head and my heart are kind of like not aligned, there's always been some doubt or something, but this is 100% like my brain knows. So yeah, that was the question that started it, and I don't like thinking about it, because I'm just like, I've got to accept that it's just a process. It's going to write itself out, you know, maybe with more time and stuff like that. But yeah, for some reason, Like, I wish it would just go snip and be done, so I can just fucking move on. Like, I'm so fed up. This keep coming back into my, into my, this feeling that keeps coming back up, because it is a battle, an internal battle. Like, I feel something and I'm like, why are you feeling that? Why? It's just pointless. It's a wasted emotion. But I guess this is what journaling is going to do, hopefully, and with more time and more compassion, and just let myself feel and go through it. But yeah, that was the burning question. Anyway, and then I was on my walk and so many other questions came into my head, like really stupid questions. Like, I walked past the bar that I journaled about when I smelled a smell that reminded me of my mum's wine bar, and then I came back and I eBayed and found the bookmark, which, update, I have spoken to the guy who's selling it. He's put it aside, he's put it as a private listing, he's given me the link, and I am buying it on Thursday. He's arranged for UK shipping for me, so I will, in a few weeks time, have a piece of my childhood, which is like, it's just crazy how like the universe works. But I walked past the same bar today and the door was open and a gust of wind blew through and there was the same smell, and it didn't register anything. And I'm like, why on that one day? Like, if I hadn't have had that thing on that one day, then I wouldn't have gone on to look for that, and I wouldn't have had that matchbox. And and then that question, and then there was just, there's so many questions I can't remember. That then it was, I got a post about this journal, someone's message to say that they can help me get more views and stuff. It's just like promotion thing, and I'm not going to do it. That's not the purpose of this journal, but it was just kind of like, we can grow your followers and blah blah blah. And I was just like, why? But the paragraph at the beginning, she must have watched some of the videos, because she quoted some things in this email, this long email, that were in the journals that I've left over the last couple of weeks. So she must have watched a few posts, and I was just like, well, that's, that's, you don't know I don't know who's watching these, but then the whole purpose of them doing them is for me to have accountability, knowing that I have to post it every day and do it. It's just, it holds me accountable. I'm not doing it for anything else. But then there was kind of like, oh, why? Who else is watching? And then I was kind of like questioning, about that. And then I started thinking about, right, I need to start thinking about where I want to start doing my traveling. So do I want to do the US side of things, or do I want to do Europe? Like, where do I want to end up? So I then started looking into, so basically, I don't know if you can see, this here is almost my dream, like this one and this one, a combination of the two. This one more because of the colouring and stuff, but this schoolie, that's the ultimate dream, to have that. So I was like, right, you need to decide what your ultimate dream is, your ultimate goal, and start making that shit happen. So I've looked around, I've managed to find a company that ship schoolies from the US to the UK. So I can, because it's so much cheaper to buy them in America, but it has to be shipped as a bus. So I now need to, and I can't drive I've got to set some serious expectations here. I cannot drive on a license in the UK unless I've held it for 3 years. So this ain't going to be happening anytime, like immediately soon, unless I find someone to, a chauffeur, and that defeats the whole purpose of this thing. So it's going to be looking close to, if I pass my test, it's going to be looking very close to 2028 that this whole thing is going to happen, which again is too too close to being scarily a coincidence. So anyway, I found a company that will ship the schoolie from the US to the UK. It's quite reasonably priced. It's between, depending on the length and stuff like that, but sort of a regular sized schoolie is probably going to be about £2.5 to £4 to ship from the US to the UK. But it has to be shipped as a bus. So now I'm thinking, I get 3 months in the US to travel. I could potentially, if I get sponsorship, and I have already got, someone has put me in touch with an organisation who I can get sponsorship with. So then I could potentially stay out there for up to, I think it's a year, doing all my travelling. But I'm going to have to travel in it as a bus. So now I'm thinking, is a non-converted bus, because I don't mind having a blow up bed in the back and a pot to piss in, like I'm not bothered, you know, I turn into a bear and shit in the woods, I don't care, like, you know, I just want to get on the open road and just drive and just see things and just watch sunrise and sunsets I've never seen, all, you know. So that side of things doesn't bother me. Not being in this, you know, beautifully fully equipped bus does not bother me whatsoever. But I now just need to figure out whether a non-converted schoolie, because what I'll have to do is take all the seats up and maybe either put them in a storage so that I've got an empty bus, so at least I've got somewhere to lay a mattress on the floor and things like that, and then when it's time to ship the bus I can just take everything out, screw the seats back in and ship it. Or if I can't get storage, I'm going to have to just take all the seats and maybe like stack them at the back of the schoolie, and then I'll only have half of the bus. But to be honest, what more do you need? As long as there's a place for me to sleep and a place for me to pee in, like, and store some water and stuff. But now the question is a unconverted schoolie going to be easier to keep warm in winter with no insulation, or to keep cool in summer with no insulation? Because that's going to determine when I do my traveling. And then from there, I can work back and kind of figure out how I'm going to be able to do this. So I created a list, which is this little list here. You can't really see it properly. Wrote down, had a look at a few schoolies, wrote down the price, wrote down how much roughly, just for very basic renovations, for the insurance, for the shipping, for petrol, for living expenses, and it came to £28,000. This multicoloured thing that you can just see here is one of those like checks from the universe. I wrote that out when I created this vision board, and on that check is £28,000. I picked that number because 28, but how insane that I have literally done an actual working out, having contacted people, having done research on the price of the bus, research on insurance, research on living costs, on petrol, and how far I want to travel and what I want to do, and it's come up to exactly the same. Like, honestly, you cannot make this shit up. Like, when I decided I wanted to go to the Atlantic rainforest, I drew a map and what I wanted to do in South America, and I wrote down all the little places I wanted to visit and how much it was, and I wrote at the end of it how much I actually needed. This was before I had any idea how I was ever going to get that amount of money, and we were talking 10,000 something. And then a series of events meant that I was able to go to South America and do the traveling, and the money that I got paid, the check that went into my bank before I went on my traveling, was £200 different from what I'd written on my like when I drew the map and everything and I'd worked everything out, was £200 different. And we're talking like £10,000 and hundreds. Like, and at the point that I drew that map, and it was only 7 or 8 months prior that I drew that map and wrote out everything, and I was like, how am I going to get £10,800 in 6 months? Like, it's not physically possible. And then the universe just delivered. So I've got to just trust and believe. Like, there's too many coincidences here for it not to be working out in my favor. So all these questions that are coming into my head and all these things, I have to just remember to decipher the ones that I have control over and to allow the ones that I have no control over, and to focus on the ones that I can control. So the question about why is my heart still hanging on to something that my head clearly knows is a waste of time, when my head and my heart are both fully and passionately committed into this other thing. Like, is it the universe's way of kind of providing you with a distraction to see if you're really serious? Because I'm fucking serious. This is gonna happen. Like, I even started thinking about, oh my God, maybe I should start journaling about how to get my schoolie. And I was just like, you know, trying to think of silly little names. Like, you know, I was born in London, so although I'm not a Cockney, I'm what's considered a Mockney, so it's like a fake Cockney. And I was like trying to think of like quirky names like Schoolies and Mockneys and stuff like that, and like my brain was just, I've got to document this specific part because there's too many coincidences, and I'd really like to just have something that maybe like a little side thing, the same as I'm still thinking about doing about the memories, because I've been having some insane memories that I haven't thought about in years come into my head, like memories from, oh my God, like literally when I was in single digits, like, you know, it is, I need to just make sure that I'm focusing all my energy on the questions that I can answer. But yeah, so anyway, that's the content for today. Questions. They can be a blessing and a curse. So let's have a look. What have we got for quotes today? I don't know if I took any. Did I take any quotes today? No, I don't think I have. I haven't really been on much today. Let's have a look. Okay. This post seems to be hitting a little bit too close to home recently, but it's, I guess with me saying I want to sever that connection would mean that I would have to stop feeling, and I don't, you know, what I had with my ex is not something that I can switch off, you know. So although I've kind of joked about it, there is an element in why I know why I still have this warmth in my heart for them, and it's because you just can't switch that type of emotion off immediately. Like, although I know it's over and done, like I can't switch the emotions off that came with that. So although I can be logical, I you know, in being logical and emotional can sometimes, you know, it can cause a bit of confusion. So obviously that's where the questions, but in order for me to sever that connection, I would have to not care. And I do care, you know. I do still, you know, think about, oh God, are they eating okay? Are they safe? Are they well? Have they, you know, is the weather okay over there? Are they, you know, I think that about a lot of people, you know. Sometimes think back to people from years and years ago that I met, you know, that have come into my life, and I'm like, I hope they're well and I hope they're happy. And so yeah, in order for that to stop would mean that I would have to not care, and that's just not in my nature. I care. I'm always going to care. But this post that's just come up, it says, it sucks when you want to be heartless, but you know that's not who you are. Perfect. Yeah. As much as I would love to be able to have a switch, to disconnect the two, you know, it's unfortunately not in my nature. You know, I do care. So I think I would worry more if my brain was logically or illogically hanging on to something that wasn't there. No, I've definitely got to a stage where I'm just like, no, there's absolutely zero chance. And there was, for a period of time, there was kind of like, oh God, you know, what if? But it's got to a stage now where you know, it's, yeah, there is no question that that part of my life is done. Excuse me. But yeah, it would make life a lot easier, because then I would have the space to do stuff, you know, not have that fill up parts of my day. But it just reminds me how much, you know, how much of a big heart I've got. So yeah, questions. That's my that's my quote. And that's crazy, just as I'm literally talking about someone from America is messaging me. It's crazy. Let's have a think. Learning today. My learning is that questions some are going to be designed to provide you with answers. Yeah, your learning today is you're going to be, your brain is going to fill of questions on more than one occasion. You need to place your focus and your energy on the questions that you can answer. And the questions that you can't answer, you need to respectfully allow them to just pass through your mind. You need to stop spending so much time trying to think of answers to questions that you know you're never going to get the answer to. So focus, your learning is to focus your energy on the questions that you can provide the answers to. So that's your thing. That's your learning. I am happy. I know what I'm happy about. Look at September filling up already. This is quite exciting. So September we have what have I put? So September next week, Project Leg tattoo starts. I'm so excited. So yes, next Wednesday is I'm getting both legs tattooed. Then that's on the Wednesday, and then on the Saturday there is at the local showground there is a motorhome and campervan show. It's like a 3 or 4 day event, I think it's. So I'm going to get tickets and go to that because it's really cheap and it is just down the way, so I can hop on a train and go to that. So I'm going to go and just have a scout. You've got to start putting yourself, Stacey, where you've got to start living and manifesting and putting yourself where your dreams are. So go to, although, because you ummed and ahed when you saw it and you're like, oh, you haven't got a bus, it's going to be a couple of years. No, start living the life that you want now. Get your fucking ass to that show on the 7th. Walk around, talk to people, get business cards, make friends, be your beautiful self, and you never know who you're going to meet there. So do not let the fact that you don't even have a license yet put you off from going. Like, that is what you want. You thought of, you thought, oh, I wonder if there's any shows, and there is a show, like, on the 7th. It's September. September's always an important day for you, because the other thing on there is Dad's birthday on the 28th. You've got the week off. Possibly thinking about going to Geneva for the week. Not sure yet. That's still, I've got to look at finances, and I don't want to be splurging too much, but it's actually quicker to fly from Bristol to Switzerland than it is to get a bus from Bristol to London. So it is definitely something that it would be nice to maybe go over there and have a couple of days and just, do what you've always done for your dad's birthday. Go to a new place you've never been before, make some new friends. I know you've been worrying about how it's going to feel getting back on a plane again, because the last plane you got, you were heading to America, and, that's not going to happen again for a while. And you've been panicking about that. Travel has been in your blood. You have travelled, you've lived abroad since 96. Like, you've lived in Spain, you've lived in Portugal, you've lived in South America, you've travelled to so many places. Do not let what's just happened to you put you off from something that you've been so passionate about since the 90s. So get that out your fucking head, get it booked, and get on a fucking plane to Switzerland and enjoy your dad's birthday and go and eat some chocolate on your dad's birthday. So that's what I'm happy about. Really happy about that. And my gratitude today is going to be for, oh my God, who's my gratitude for? Oh, I had someone in mind, and now why can I not remember? I do remember. My gratitude is for, it's crazy, it's an account I follow, and I don't know them, just an account I follow. They done a live this afternoon, and I skipped into the live, and it was quite funny because I often reply to some of the stories they put in, and I'd replied to a story that they sent, and it was quite a while ago. Like, it was on the 28th of July, they posted a story that I replied to, and yesterday they actually replied. And I was like a bit fan struck, like, oh my God, because this person, they're not a celebrity, they're not famous, like, in that respect, but to me they are. They're famous to me. Like, they've got 50,000 followers. Like, they're to me, they're a big deal. So when they personally replied, and I was like, oh my God. So when I saw him go live today, I jumped on the live, and he'd done a little wave and did a little shout out, when I joined the live and stuff, and I was like, oh my God. But honestly, some of his videos that he's posted, I have literally been sat here sobbing in tears, so desperate for a sign that things are going to get better. And I'll go on to Facebook, and a video of his will come up, and I'll watch it, and it will instantly just be the light that I need at the end of the tunnel. So he has literally, thank you so much for doing what you do. I will tag them in the post, but it was just been, so that's my gratitude. And it was quite funny because when I was in the live, other people were commenting about one of the videos, which is one that I've got saved. And if I'm ever having a bad day, I watch this video because it's just a little short that he done. and it's just him singing a song and stuff, and saying something, but it just never fails to make me smile and to bring a bit of light when the days are a little bit dark. So that's my gratitude for you, and thank you. Day 30 done, dusted. Yeah, I've drunk water today. I've been a very good girl. I've been to the gym, I've showered, I've been for a walk, I've done let's have a look, see if I don't think I clocked myself. Oh, look at that, just short, 9,317, a little bit short, but hey ho. Yeah, that's it, day 30. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. What else? There was one other thing I wanted to journal today, to look back on, and I can't remember. It's almost like I feel like I have to like walk myself backwards through the room and look around to things that maybe flag and make me remember, but there ain't nothing. Let me have a look at my was on my list. Oh, no, fuck. No, it's gone, never to be seen again. So yes, Stacey, I love you. I'm so proud of you. Just keep going. Like everything, like just then when you looked back and you saw the date of that video that you liked for the person that everything is happening for a reason. Just trust, relax, write down what you want, and then just let it go. Just put trust in the universe. Obviously, you know, still work towards your goals and make sure you're being consistent, and you know, you're doing everything you can every single day to make sure that you're stepping towards those goals, and you're doing something every day to make you, you know, successfully reach them. You don't get to just sit back and, you know, have it all come into your lap, but just trust. You've got so many situations in your life where you've never thought anything, you've thought this is never going to happen, and it has. So you need to remember those moments, remember those times when you've just been you've had complete faith and trust that everything's going to work out. You've done some really good research today. You're starting to think about questions, and you're starting to consciously want to spend time on the questions that you can get answers for. So in that respect, you're not ruminating on things that you can't do, which even just a few weeks ago you weren't doing as well. But today you've done a lot better. You knew you weren't coping very well this afternoon, so you got up, you went for a walk, you focused on other questions, you've done some research. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, that's it. I love you. Keep going. Every day I can just feel myself, even on the bad days, even on the days that have been so bad, there's still been the tiniest little fire in my belly. And then there's days like today where it's a roaring fire. You know, you deserve everything that you are wanting. Like, do not give up. Do not let other people's small minds, even just little things with people you like, the two people you were worried about, like when you were with your ex and you were, you know, you talking about moving over there, and you told your job and you told your two best friends that you'd be leaving, and you know, there was kind of this, oh my God, I don't want to leave them behind. Both of them have partners now. Like, they've got someone there to love and look after them. You know, everything. You have to just pause every now and again and just realize that everything that's happening in your life is happening for a reason. Just trust, have faith, keep your beautiful heart open, keep going. I love you. Stay kooky.